Hi, welcome to Kanpai Planet. I'm Mac, bringing you the world of Japanese drinks, and today we're taste testing the Foo Fighters Sake. Wait, what? And I know the record scratch sound effect has become cliche, but we are talking about music here. As I'm sure you know, many bands have collaboration beers, wines, whiskies, and rums, but not many have collaboration sake. Well, actually, Kiss do. They have 12 out. The first set of 4 was released back in April 2019. Regardless, it wasn't what any of us were expecting when, on the 13th of January 2021, the day before Dave Grohl's 52nd birthday, the Foo Fighters dropped this on their YouTube channel. The 2-minute video showed sake brewers doing their thing to a backing track of Shame Shame from the then upcoming and now released 10th Foo Fighters album Medicine at Midnight. All very appropriate because the Shame Shame music video is filmed in black and white. It came with a teaser message explaining that the Foos had collaborated with Tatenokawa Sake Brewery to release 2 sake titled Hansho, which is a pretty obscure word for midnight. And they suggested that you drink the sake while listening to their new album. And now here I am, sat down in front of 2 bottles of chilled Foo Fighters sake. A phrase I never thought I would utter, but we don't know what to expect in times like these.
It's times like these It's times like these.
Who are the wonderful folks at Tatenokawa, makers of this limited edition sake? Well, their brewery is in a town called Sakata in Yamagata Prefecture, which is in the northern part of Honshu, the name for the main island of Japan. Sakata is a pretty cool place for drinks lovers. It's the only city in Japan to include the kanji, the Chinese characters, for both sake, alcohol, and rice field, rice from which sake is made, in its name. And rather appropriately, the town has a whopping 20 sake breweries, which is incredible considering the area has a population of 30,000 people. Tatenokawa was founded in 1832. In 1855, Sakai Tadakatsu, a daimyo of the Sonai clan, visited the area, tried the sake, and christened it Tatenokawa, which means Castle Brook. Fast forward to today, and Tatenokawa is still going strong under the auspices of 6th generation CEO Junpei Sato. And Sato-san has a goal of making sake that appeals to people globally. And what better way to do this than collaborate with one of the world's most popular bands? The Foo Fighters are big sake fans, and apparently they remotely tested a number of Tatenokawa's offerings, and their favourites were used as inspiration for the sake that we have in front of us today. Each bottle costs 3,080 yen for 720 millilitres. That's about twice what I'd normally expect to pay for a sake of this type. And so you are paying a premium for the limited edition and the branding. But what branding? This logo is super cool. Apparently the brewery commissioned a calligrapher to stylize the words Foo Fighters, the 3 syllables of Foo Fighters, into 3 different Japanese looking kanji characters. Absolutely fantastic. What better way to celebrate your 25th anniversary and your 10th album? Both of these sake are what we call Junmai Daiginjo grade. Now that's interesting because Yamagata is actually famous for its Ginjo sake. It's known as the Kingdom of Ginjo. But since 2010, Tatenokawa have made the decision to make only Junmai Daiginjo sake. Junmai means pure rice. It is sake that has been brewed with only the 4 ingredients of rice, water, yeast, and koji. No brewing alcohol or additives added. Ginjo and Daiginjo refer to the rice polishing ratio. So the outer husk of a grain of rice contains fats and proteins and lipids. This makes it great to eat, but we don't want them when we're brewing sake because they can lead to a lot of off flavors. So we try to remove some of the husk in a process called polishing. Ginjo means the rice has been polished to 60%, so 40% of that husk has been taken off, and Daiginjo has been polished to 50%. Junmai Daiginjo sakes tend to have an elegant balance between acidity and umami, but it is a lot of effort. It takes about 36 hours to polish 1,200 kilograms of rice down to 50%. Tatenokawa know a thing or two about rice polishing because they made history. On the 1st of October 2017, they released the world's first sake polished down to 1%. So 99% of the outer husk taken off. They released 150 bottles of this sake called komyo, which means zenith, for 100,000 yen each. That's about 950 US dollars. They all sold out, and it took about 1,800 hours spread across 2.5 months to polish that rice grain down to 1%. What makes it even better is that the brewery staff actually let the sake listen to Foo Fighters classic tracks and songs from Medicine at Midnight while they were making it. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so the first of these sake I'm going to try is called Hansho Ao, which means midnight blue. So let's take a look here at the label. So it's been brewed with the pop side of the Foo Fighters in mind. And we've got a 15% alcohol sake here. It doesn't actually say the rice that they used here on the label, but I know from their promotional materials that they used locally sourced Dewa Sansan rice. Dewa Sansan accounts for about 2% of all sake production, so a pretty rare rice to use. Tatenokawa say that this sake will heal your daily fatigue and permeate your entire body, rather like listening to a Foo Fighters album. So this is what I'm going to try first. Okay, so first we've got to unbox the choko. Unboxings are very popular on YouTube. I should put the word unboxing in the video title. That should drive another 10 views. So here it is, the limited edition Foo Fighters choko. This is a kiki choko. Typically a choko has blue rings at the bottom of it. Janome or choko, which means snake eyes or choko. And we use these blue rings to test the clarity and the freshness of the sake. So if there's distortion between the white and the blue, then you should be worried that your sake has gone off. For this Foo Fighters or choko, we have one circle encircling the classic FF Foo Fighters logo. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm actually going to do the scientific part of the sake tasting in a wine glass, because glass has been proven to make sake taste better, and also the wider mouth of the wine glass will help the aromas of the sake to percolate. Okay, kanpai. Oh, that is a really, really great. A wonderful aroma. You can definitely sense lychee and some banana in there as well. That's pretty soft actually. Not aggressive at all. That's lovely. Very, very clean sake, which is kind of an adjective I tend to associate with all of the Tatenokawa sakes which I've tried. I think this bottle may be gone very quickly. It has a light sweetness in the sake, which I really personally like a lot. And it is just overall absolutely fantastic. Very, very well balanced. By the way, this is the first video on Kanpai Planet. Thank you so much for watching. We have huge plans for this channel and we'd love to get it off to a great start. So please subscribe. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, we can start live streaming really cool events from Japan. So please help us get there, and thank you again. This sake is the real deal. Definitely not the pretender. By the way, I'd love to get this video in front of the Foos themselves. So if any of you watching this have any contacts or know of a way, then please just go ahead and make it so. This is not Tatenokawa's first collaboration with a rock band. I've actually collaborated making sake with French band Phoenix.
Things are gonna change, and not for better.
Yabai, which means dangerous. That is very nomi yasui, easy to drink, that bottle is not going to last long at all. Now, onto the Hansho Gin, the silver bottle. Generous pour there. Okay, let's take a look at the label. 15% alcohol. Again, doesn't mention the type of rice, but we know from the promotional materials that this is made with omachi rice from Okayama Prefecture in the southern part of Honshu, the main island of Japan. But only 3% of sake is made using omachi rice. So again, they've used another very rare rice. Now that's interesting because 80% of Tatenokawa Sake is made using Yamagata Prefecture grown Dewa Sansan rice or Miyama Nishiki rice. So given they've used omachi here, I'm expecting something very interesting. It says that this sake has been inspired by the rock side of the Foo Fighters. So we've got the pop side and the rock side. And it says here that we should be expecting a layered, heavier flavour. Omachi is the oldest known sake rice with no genetic crossbreeding. And it can be difficult to handle because it's a pure rice strain, meaning it retains a lot of its wild elements. Okay, I can see why they've chosen that for the rock variant. The brewery says that this sake will give vitality for tomorrow. So I can see what they've done here. This sake heals your daily fatigue. This one gives you vitality for tomorrow. So clearly this one's the chaser, and then this is the main event. Let's see. Ooh, that is very different. Got some really earthy notes coming out in the aroma here. And I think that's going to lead to a sake with a very strong aftertaste. Wow, that is deep. Excellent depth with a very firm body. That is a complicated sake. And that is all down to the omachi rice. So the fact it's purebred leads to this kind of really wild, earthy flavour. This is delicious. Definitely not as easy drinking as the pop sake, the Ao sake, but this is really, really wonderful. The labels actually both hint that you should get together with these sake on a sleepless night, which, given that we're talking about medicine at midnight, seems really very appropriate. You know, what's interesting to me, it's not typical for the rice variety to dominate the taste of a sake. So typically production methods or yeast are most important, but omachi is so distinctive that it does that. And omachi has a bit of a cult following amongst people who refer to themselves as omachists. There's even an annual omachi sake festival. Somebody's thought about this. Really appropriate that it's been used for this Foo Fighters rock sake. Tatenokawa, you've really delivered the best of you.
Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you?
I really love that the Foos have done this collaboration. You know, they're well known for scouting out local bands to even open their concerts as they tour. So thank you very much for supporting the sake industry during these tough times. These sake are Japan only for now. Shall I finish them off? Or will it be a long road to ruin? So that's that. I'll be making my way through the rest of the sake while listening to Medicine at Midnight. Fantastic album, highly recommended. Thanks for joining us. Please like this video, it really helps. And subscribe and hit that bell icon for more from Kanpai Planet. Until next time, Kanpai!